Listen, a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in because that means, no, I need somebody they need to make 5 times more and I got to have, well, go on, keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Go on, keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
I remember I was having a conversation with you and I was going, I can admit that I had fallen under that, like, okay, I actually may have misunderstood what meet me at my worth meant. I thought meet me at my worth was meet me at my net worth.
My net worth, right. No, not your net worth.
Right.
At least meet me at my net worth. Yeah,
Okay,
no, that's your net worth. Yeah.
And I was talking to you, I was like, and Tyler, I was like, this, and this, and I've done this, and you're like, wait. Stop. You was like, don't make it about money. And this is when I was like, oh my gosh, like it was like it just went off, and I was like, I see what you're saying. You were like, Crystal, I used to do the same thing. I would like be doing all these things for someone or people around me, and I'm like, I'm not getting anything in return, And we fall into that sometimes. And you said, but then I thought about it, they can't do for me the way I do for.
No,
it's just like they can't.
No.
When you explain it like that, if he is giving you all these other things, then that's something you work with. Like, wow, like this is way deeper. Yeah,
you got to remove the money from the situation because it's just going to cloud it. And then you have your girlfriend and this friend there saying, girl, he doing this and he ain't got that. And you don't understand the love that we have for each other.
Y'all are not embarrassed as black women in those Tyler Perry comments? Because personally, me as a black woman and the rest of the 50% of us, we're embarrassed for y'all. Just because someone is a celebrity doesn't mean you agree with every single thing they say. And if you're confused why everyone on this app and Twitter is going so crazy about this interview and the videos on TikTok, let me fill you in. So this all started when this one interviewer interviews this non-black couple, and he's asking the man, hey, how much did you spend on her wedding ring? And he goes, $35,000. Interviewer goes, $35,000? He was like, she's worth that? And literally responds, she's worth even more. She's worth more than $35K. She brings so much to the table, starts listing out all her amazing qualities, and literally everyone in the comments is like, oh my God, that's a great man right there. He loves her so much. That's an amazing answer. So of course, the same interviewer interviews a black couple literally like 2 days later, right? So when he interviews the black couple, he asks them the exact same questions. And then the woman is like, oh, like a wedding ring doesn't really matter. Like she's the one doing most of the talking, right? He asked her, like, is a $1,500 ring enough? And then she goes, And then the guy just starts gaslighting her. He's like, $1,500 should be more than enough. He's like, it's not about the ring or the money. It's about the relationship. And y'all just gotta watch it. This man just gaslights her into making her believe that, like, she doesn't deserve a ring, period. And so the interviewer asks, hold on, how long have y'all been together that you still don't have a ring? She's talking about they've been together for years and this man still has not proposed. And so the interviewer asks him, like, what are you waiting for? This man has nothing to say to the interviewer, but then turns back to her and starts gaslighting her like, oh, so you're just with me because you want money. Literally just starts gaslighting her for wanting more and saying that a $1,500 ring is maybe not what she wants. And I swear she didn't even say it with her full chest. She was so scared to speak on it. Then I don't know if this is an old interview or a new interview, but it's of Tyler Perry saying that black women nowadays are making more money than black men, are more educated than black men. And he's saying that if black women want to start dating black men, that just have like regular jobs who are not educated, then they should lower their standards and be with that man. I kid you not. You will never hear anybody saying that to Hispanic women. You will never hear anyone saying that to Arab women, Asian women, or white women. You will never hear any other race tell their women, oh, lower your standards to be with a man because you're the breadwinner, you're more educated. That doesn't even make sense to me. So you're not going to tell the black man to get higher paying jobs and get more educated. You're just going to tell black women to lower their standards so those men who didn't do that can have a companion? I need you to be for real. And on top of that, black men are the highest to date outside of their race, and you're telling me you want black women to lower their standards to basically date the leftovers is what you're saying to me. So there's two type of black women in the comments. There's people like me being like, no, I'm not going to lower my standards. They just need to heighten their standards. And then there's the half of y'all that are in the comments like, you're so right, Tyler Perry. We need to lower our standards so that we can be with black men. Black men don't even want you statistically. They date outside of their race. Let me repeat to you how dumb this sounds. There are non-black men arguing with interviewers saying that a $35,000 ring is not even enough for his women, that he wants to do even better for his women. And you're out here settling for a man who won't even buy you a ring and saying that a $1,500 ring is more than enough. In the video that went viral of the Middle Eastern woman, she literally says if a man is not more educated than her, if a man does not make more money than her, and if a man is not smarter than her, she will get bored and eat them for breakfast. And everyone in the comments is hyping her up, being like, yes, you're so right. To remind you, don't settle. We went from being baby mamas to highest paid, highest educated, and I hope in the next couple of years, highest in marital status, whether that's to a black man or not. Do not settle as a black woman. You deserve more. Last thing I want to say is, even historically speaking, families for generations have married off their daughters to more wealthy men so they can provide them a better life. Since when are only black women demonized for wanting better for themselves? Now we're gold diggers for wanting better, but no other races. Is the goal to find a fine black man who relates to your struggles, is educated, and makes more money than you? Absolutely, but if you can't find that in your race, then you better date outside, and I'm going to be here to remind you that you are never going to settle.
They need to make 5 times more, and I got to have the.
Now, you won't find me talking about the black community because I don't feel like it's my place. Anything I have to say about the black community is based on observation, growing up, going to black churches, growing up in a majority black community, and then having a lot of people in my life be black women. All of that still does not give me a right to say anything over any other black person or black woman's voice. I saw this video of Tyler Perry and I wanted to add my 2 cents on it from my perspective as a white woman, looking on the outside in. And as someone who regularly talks about sexism and brainwashing and programming and feminism and blah, blah, blah. This video is not monetized, and if it is not received well, I will fucking delete it. Go watch that video with Tyler Perry, but there's a reason why I clipped the exact clip that I clipped it at. Notice the tone of voice that he goes into when he's mimicking black women. Notice how instead of addressing their very real concerns and acknowledging their standards that were put there for a fucking reason, he goes to characterizing them. He immediately turns them into a joke. And he's built his entire career off this. Black women are damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. They are mocked by their own fucking men and told what they should and should not accept by their own men. And we won't even get into the fucking rest of the world that treats them the way that they treat them. They have to work 10 times as hard to get even a fraction of what anybody else is getting. And now they're out earning their male counterparts, and it's their problem? And they should start making compromises? It once again goes back to being their fault? You have to ask yourself why a billionaire such as Tyler Perry is addressing this issue at all. What objective does he have in addressing this issue? And how much are we expecting black women to continue to carry on their fucking backs? Because at this point, it's everything. When will black women be allowed to be women and enjoy their lives and enjoy their accomplishments without always having the fucking fire go to their feet? Again, I don't talk about this very much because it's not my place. I totally understand that. And I can already see the comments rolling in that I'm like, I'm pandering and I'm doing this and that and the other. This is something I'm passionate about. But again, I don't want to speak over anyone else's voice. I only want to add if it means anything at all. But it fucking upsets me.
Men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love.
Well, sir, it's called accountability. I'm going to make this very simple. If black women for this generation and the previous generation have been providing for their household, why would they seek to settle to then get harassed for not submitting to their man when their man cannot lead and provide for the house? Let me break it down again. It's not about the financials. But if your man can only pay the light bill, more chances than not, that man is unmotivated and probably a bum. So why does the black woman have to settle and then again turn around and get harassed for not being submissive to their man? The man needs to take accountability in leading and elevating their life so that we can get back to the man providing for the house. It's very simple.
If that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is
Tyler, and I'm going to touch your hand when I say this. Go put on your wigs and your heels and come back to me woman to woman, because you are speaking from a viewpoint you have never lived out of, honey bunch, okay? You have all this unresolved trauma with your own father, which is why you struggle to hold black men accountable. You yourself had to cosplay a black woman and pander to white America for 30 fucking years just to become the multimillionaire that you are. What I see right now is a gaslighting page right out of Oprah's book. You're scared because you just got this studio and the writers are on strike that when we come back from all of this shit, black women are no longer going to tune into you because we have healed past the point of accepting this type of bullshit as entertainment. I'm willing to bet your entire net worth that you can't make a movie or a television show without the concept of struggle of somebody gotta be on the brink of divorce, somebody mama gotta have cancer, somebody has to have a wicked baby mama from fucking hell. Because what I heard was black women should take care of black men and stop expecting black men to be able to take care of them, which makes perfect sense coming from you because you created Medea to sustain Tyler, did you not? I'd have made it better had you turned around and said, black men, you need to learn how to submit to black women, because I'm not gonna be the provider and he gets to be the motherfucking lead. He's not leading me into debt. I make enough money for me, but now you telling me I gotta feed 2 mouths? If I could afford it without you, I should be able to afford it 2 times over when I get with you. You would think after painting the black community in such a negative light for the last 30 years, you yourself would know that black men are the most insufferable people on the planet when they don't have any fucking funds. If black women wanted to settle for something less than what we're deserving of, we would simply audition for one of the roles that you're casting for.
Now, why Tyler Medea Perry decided to sit his tail on that couch and tell black women that we should be accepting a man who can only contribute light bill money, it's above my head, because I don't even understand why he's speaking on that for real. But what I really want to know, how much money are you making a year as a man that all you can contribute is light bill money? How much money is that? Because from my understanding, light bills at most a couple $100s a month, like maybe $200-300. So if that's all you can pay, how much money are you making, bro? Where are you working at? Because with that little amount of money, it don't sound like you should be focusing on a relationship right now. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like your main thought should be, how many jobs can I work in one day? Physically, how much can I do? Because this is crazy. You don't need to be worried about romancing me, sir. You need to be worried about financing yourself, because this is crazy. That's crazy. And how come when we're having these conversations about what a woman can expect from a man financially, why are y'all never mentioning the fact that broke men are miserable? Why is nobody talking about that? If the man in this hypothetical situation who's in a committed relationship with a woman, y'all are at the point where you're living together and you can't provide anything but a couple of $100s a month, that's it, that's all you can do, do you think that that man is happy with himself? Do you think he's a very pleasant person? You think he's a joy to be around? You think that that's what somebody wants to come home to? Because it's not. It's the reason why we say don't date men who don't make enough money. If he's not making as much as you are or more than you are, you don't have no business being with him, because he's going to be a miserable person to be around. He's depressed. He's embarrassed. And understandably so. But he's not going to be able to contain all of those feelings within him. As a man who is most likely not very emotionally equipped to handle those type of feelings, he don't know what to do with the feelings, so he's going to project them onto you. And do you think that that's going to make a good, healthy, balanced relationship? The answer is no. It's actually hell no. That's the answer. So Tyler Perry, if you want to be with a man that can only pay light bill money, please go ahead and do so. But leave the rest of us out of it, okay? Thanks.
Listen, a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will.
Now, you may be wondering why a billionaire like Tyler Perry has a vested interest in telling black women that they should settle for the bare minimum. It's because he knows that a lonely man is a dangerous man. A group of lonely men who don't have access to women are dangerous. You see, in societies where having multiple wives is a thing, 9 times out of 10, it's all the rich men who have access to women. They have the access to pleasure from the woman. They have access to carry their genes forward. They have access to pretty much the most valuable thing, okay, that this earth has to offer. All of that is through the woman. And when only wealthy men has access to that, then it starts to become a problem for wealthy men to maintain their power and control, because lonely men who have no access to women, become dangerous. And that's when they start to do things like overcome governments, or they start to be so violent that now they're not turning inward inside their homes, being violent towards, you know, the women and the children. Now they're being violent to the people with all the resources. Lonely men are a direct threat to their way of life. So to mitigate that, what they do is they hop on the internet and they tell us that we should, you know, accept a man who can't do anything but pay a light bill. We should accept them at their lowest. We should accept them for any little minimal effort that they put forth. Knowing that we live in a patriarchal society and what that means for women. So even though we decide to exchange, you know, what we have to offer, our value, for little to nothing, that value is still going to be extracted out of us. One thing I've learned in the course of my life is dating rich or dating poor. I don't care if he's a poor man or he's a wealthy man. He still expects the same amount of labor out of you. Whether he can afford it or not, he wants you to cook, he wants you to clean, he wants to do your emotional labor, he wants your support, he wants all those things. So ladies, please don't be fooled, because it's just a game for them. It's just a way for them to maintain power and control, so they have less men to compete with.
Listen, a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will.
Hey girl, you can continue to listen to that mess if you want to, but he's basically saying that women, but we all know he's talking about black women, get with a guy who can at least pay the phone bill or the light bill. Girl, he doesn't understand, and I say girl to Tyler Perry, he doesn't understand that we have the light bill on auto pay. We don't need a black man for that. As a dating coach, I want you to know that that shit does not work. Don't settle. There's going to be a lot of programming, conditioning that will tell you, hey girl, get with a black man, even if he's not self-actualized and he hasn't been successful in his career. What I'm telling you is get with the winner, girl. Get with a guy who is self-actualized, stable, both emotionally and financially, so that you can live the best life that you want to live. What I know is that if a guy makes less than 80% of what you make, it will not work. This is a dating coach who's been doing this for 13 years for black and brown women specifically. Oftentimes, they will either want to compete with you, they will feel emasculated, and they will want to humble you and bring you down. And you all know this because many of you have probably already experienced this. This happens only for black women. Black men and other people will want to tell you, go for the bronze, girl. Just be happy that you're getting a medal, instead of telling you to go for the gold. As a dating coach for black and brown women, I'm telling you go for platinum, bitch, because you deserve all of it and more. What I know for sure is that so many of us have the model of our mothers and our grandmothers who have settled for less from black men, because many of them were with these guys in the 80s and we had a crack epidemic and we had recessions, and so they were just getting with anybody and everybody, right? And giving them mad chances and letting them get away with a lot of different things that they should not have been letting them get away with, and doing most of the labor. And I don't want that for you, especially in 2023. You get to do it differently. You have more agency, independence, and opportunities, and you get to act like it. So if you want to break those patterns, definitely book a call with me and learn how to date differently for a different result. If you don't want to book a call with me and work with me, that's fine too. Just don't listen to Tyler Perry.
Okay, guys, finally I heard the Tyler Perry clip that everybody's talking about. I'm sorry, I'm late. I know, I'm slow. So here's what I want to say about this, okay? And I am talking to black women because he did address black women, okay? What I want black women to understand is literally there are a couple of things that are happening right now. There are more black women who are starting to open up their options to other groups of men.
You also have Tiffany Haddish, who I guess is doing a show where she's encouraging black women to date homeless men. And then now we have this clip about Tyler Perry telling black women that, oh, you know, as long as he's a good guy, he doesn't have to provide, just date him anyway. So when you combine all those things together, the men in our community, they're starting to realize that their biggest resource is starting to disappear. It's starting to slowly diminish. There will be less women who look like me in the community for men to exploit. And so this is why there's a concerted effort to keep black women in this struggle hold, to preach that, you know what, stay here and suffer. Do you guys understand what's happening right now? So it's just common sense at this point. You're either going to allow society to tell you what is best for you, or you're going to start doing what's best for you on your own. Because I can tell you right now, there is nothing, there is no TV show, there is no man, there is no woman, there is no organization that could come out on a public platform and tell me to suffer behind a man and expect that I'm actually going to do it. I would never. So that is my advice, black women. Use common sense. Use discernment. Do you think that this is what God wants you to continue to do? Because we are literally in a position right now where you have more black women who are no longer dealing with those type of things. So for them to be trying so hard to keep us dealing with those type of things, that should tell you everything you need to know. And it's going to be up to you to fall for it. If you're smart, you won't. But it literally is your choice. So that's all I got to say about that. Do what's best for you. Because I'm not going to do what's best for the community. I'm not going to do what's best for men. I'm going to do what's best for me. Understand that.